So the big picture for this lesson is sum and difference formulas. Here they are. So the idea here is that if you're taking the sign of two numbers that are added together, you can rewrite them as a product. So sine times cosine plus cosine times sine, and you can see all the rest of them here. So what are these used for? They're used to find exact values of angles that aren't reference angles. So for example, you can find the exact value of sine of 75 degrees because it is the sum of two reference angles, 30 degrees and 45 degrees. So you apply the appropriate formula right here, and then you can see what happens. You just fill in the values, and then you can get an exact value when you simplify square root of 2 plus square root of 6 all divided by 4. So that's one use of the sum and difference formula. You can also do the same with radian measures. Cosine pi over 12 is the same as cosine of pi over 3 minus pi over 4. So then you apply the sum and difference formula, and then you can get an exact value for that one. The most confusing point here is this is not a distributive property situation. Cosine of pi over 12 is not equal to cosine pi over 3 minus cosine pi over 4. You need to apply the sum and difference patterns here to do that. Here's an example of the tangent formula. It's the same idea, it's just the formula is a little strange. And the reason why it's strange is because tangent is sine divided by cosine, so it's a little more complicated. So it's a little more complicated than the sine or cosine sum and difference formulas. But it works the same way. You just substitute and then simplify. So this is another application, simplifying a sum pattern. So basically you can just end up with a single trigonometric ratio. In this case, cosine 25 degrees times cosine 10 degrees minus sine 25 degrees sine 10 degrees can be simplified to cosine of 35 degrees. Another application of this is you can find a sum or a difference of u or v, two unknown values. If you're given trig ratios and the quadrant that they're in, you can just use the sum and difference because you can use the reference angle ratios, and also you can use the positive or negative values if you know the quadrant. Then you go ahead and simplify it all out. And that's what you're doing here.